What's up, motherfuckers? Alright, let's get these trans lines fixed. I got two different pricing options for you. Let's see which one works first. But the first one involves okay, so the way these trans lines go is there is a long line, two long steel lines that come out of the transmission, go across, come all the way up to the front, and right here is where they quick disconnect. My problem with mine is my fronts are all rusted. The quick disconnects will not come off. Okay, so I bought all the new stock line for this truck. I got it. Cost $200. But then as I kept thinking about it, I said, is there a cheaper way to fix this? And I already kind of had it in my head, but then I talked to Jamie and she kind of confirmed it. This is the problem I got. Where these quick disconnect, how these lines run, they run steel all the way out of the transmission until they get right here, and they have crimped ends, and then they go up and then they go into the quick disconnect. Well, when you got crimped ends on hoses, it tells me there's pressure in it, but when it goes in the exchanger head, crimps or clamps on it. So what I gave Jamie a call, and she said she thinks there's some pressure in this. It's not a lot. And then I talked to Ford Tech, and he said the same thing. So this is what I'm going to do with Evil is they come out, when they come out of the steel line, they go into rubber hose, and they go into a crimped steel disconnect, and we're just going to cut the hose right there, and then I'm going to put these I think one of these are nipples. Yeah, I got nipples right here. We're just going to clamp them on with AN fittings. They're 8 AN. Then I got AN line to run up here to put it on there. Now, that's $35. The stock hoses are $200. So if I got to pull this thing off anyway, let's just cut the damn hose. And if this leaks, I got the replacement for it. But if it doesn't, I send it all back. But yeah, we'll show you this when we get it out of here. It's hard to, it's in here, so it's kind of hard to video it, because it's like right there is where we got to cut it, and right here is where we got to get at it. And the intercooler, the air dam, everything's off it. So it should be pretty easy to get to, and hopefully this is an easy, quick fix. When I was thinking about the nipple heads on these things, I was trying to figure out something that would, because otherwise you're just putting straight AN line on those nipples and crimping them down. I'm thinking of something in my head that would work for that. That's an AN fitting, and I couldn't spell it out. So eventually I gave up on it, and I put in AN crimps, or AN clamps, 6 or 8 AN clamps, and these things showed up. So you put your hose in there, and these go over the nipple, and it's got a built-in clamp. I don't know if this is big enough, because I think the start of that nipple is 1/2 inch, and so is that. The barbs are bigger. You'd never get this off there if you shove that here, so we're going to see what that works. So that's something I didn't realize existed. Alright, here you go. Here's a pretty good look at it right here. So yeah, I'll cut this right here, because this is the one that's leaking. This one isn't, but I mean, I suppose we could. No, that one's rusty. So we'll cut this off here. Well, probably back here, because I don't know if we can get the AN barb in there, because it's straight and this is kind of curving. And the same thing with this. We can't cut it here, so we'll have to cut it like right up here somewhere. So, and then we'll get those barbs in there and clamp down. We gotta figure out some clamps here. Oh, and by the way, this one right here goes up and it clamps into the exchanger here, and then this is just a hose going into the radiator, and then this one that comes off here that's leaking clamps right into that. So, but that's where these are going. But that right there, it goes up and it goes into a crimped steel hose which goes back to the tranny. So this is where the quick disconnects are. Steel inside, I don't know if that's aluminum or not. It's just stuck, man. Alright, there we go. We got that cut off. So we'll just shove that little barb thing up in there. Let's give you a better look at this. Tetanus. And there is your fantastic Ford Motor Company produced trans line, better known as tetanus. Yeah, look at that. It just busted somewhere in there, guys. I mean, we didn't want to touch this, but unfortunately this was bracketed down on the timing cover, and you gotta shove it off this long ass stud that's on there, and I'm sure that's what did it. So
either that or you stepping down and they're trying to get down to the last bolt.
It didn't matter. It was gonna do what it was gonna do. We cut her off. Shove that fitting in there, which is right here. Yeah, I think I showed you guys, but there's a little better look at it. It's just a barb with an AN line on it. We're gonna shove it in there. And I got the piece cut already. We just gotta figure out what degree fitting we need to put down there to get this hooked up. All right, we got the first one on. We determined we got straights, 2 straights, 2 45s, and 2 90s on there. I put the 45 on there. I was like, I think we probably should do the 90. And we set it up. Looked like it was a good go for that, so that's what we did. Put a 90 on there. And this is not Evil Line, guys. This is some other company. I don't know. This whole thing, this came with 10 foot of this AN line, 2 90s, 2 45s, 2 straights, 2 hose clamps, not the kind that clamp this down, but the kind that hold them together. It was a little over 10 bucks. So I was like, sign me up, you know. So that's what I got for, that's why I said this is $10. The barb fittings were probably about $15, I think they were. And then I got those 2 clamps that aren't going to work. We checked, they're not going to work. Not a big deal. It was a chance. I knew it was because it was the same size as this here, and there's no way you're going to get that steel over it. I mean, you could probably drill it out, but I don't know if it's wise. But anyway, those were like another $10. So all together was like 36 bucks maybe. And hopefully this is the fix and not the $200, and I can send all that back. So I got this on there. We got the fitting on there right there. I've done this before on this channel. So AN line. I actually talked to a guy online about this, and he said he had his AN lines made. They're not that hard to make. I told him that too. A lot of people like to use Whizzy wheels. I got this $10 hose cutter from Harbor Freight. This thing is amazing. I cut 6 AN easy with it. This is an 8 AN, so it's bigger. It's like a hot knife through butter, man. Watch this. Just like that. And usually there's a couple of things attached there, but there you go. And it doesn't cut it too bad. You get those fittings on there, no problem. So, and just so you know, the regular hose, it cuts it like a razor blade. All right, here we are. We got these all on there. I just got to tighten them up. I haven't finally cinched them up there. So we got to get these tied up here. This one we got a couple of holes here that we can utilize for zip ties under here, and put it in over there. This one, I don't know if we're gonna be able to go straight up like this, just because the intercooler's in here. I don't know. Might be able to, but yeah, we'll find out. I might have to cut this shorter. I'm not sure. All right, here's that. And there's this. I put a little bit of loom on there because it's riding on this, but yeah, we put this together like it's fixed. If this leaks, we got more work to do. So he says it's not gonna leak, so I guess we'll start her up, see what happens. There she is running. I know in the video before it sounded like we had a knock. I don't know if that's coming off on this right now or not. But that knock that was in the video is weird. It didn't sound like that. So, and this is what this truck sounds like. So anyway, not seeing any leak out of this over here so far. I don't know how long it's got to cycle before it starts really pumping anything through here. It was on for a while when we did it before, and I don't see anything down there. I don't see anything leaking, so we'll let this run for a minute here and I'll get back with you. Alright guys, we took the scanner. We cleared the check engine light. It is running, it is out of the garage, and we are going to go for a little ride. see if anything blows up. We do got to put tranny fluid in here, by the way. Leaves going off it. Really not going to know until we go out on the highway, guys, so I'm going to take a little ride around the neighborhood and I'll get back at you. If something happens, I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so far so good, guys, because the last time I drove this, I was taking it to work one morning after we had cleared the code. I drove a little ways down the road and the check engine light came on. It hasn't so far. It's still got the sluggishness on takeoff, but before it felt like it didn't want to go. Now it does, but I think we lost a little bit too much trans fluid, so we're gonna go back. Unfortunately, you got to go underneath these things and check that and fill it. So we're gonna go figure this out, and then if I need more fluid, see if that's what's keeping the truck from like shifting like it's supposed to, because it is shifting a little weird. It's like taking a little longer to go. See, the sluggishness would have bogged by now, but it wants to go, but it's almost like it's trying to shift, but it's not there yet. But so far so good, man. The more important thing here, guys, is nothing seems to be leaking there or in the front, which is a good thing. No oil. So, sorry about the angles, but it looks like my $35 fix is working. Don't need 200 bucks. Looks like it's working. Alright. I'm gonna go take this thing on the freeway, get it up to speed, let things get going here, because Ford, they did this nefariously, I'm sure. They don't put a dipstick for the transmission in the engine bay. You have to go up on top of the transmission underneath it, and there's a screw you pull off, and out with the screw comes the dipstick. You pull the dipstick out and shove it in there and measure. It's stupid. They did this just so you have to bring it to the Ford dealership, I'm sure, but initially there's an A and a B spot on there. It was in between them, but the more and more I put that thing in there, it just kept reading full. I don't know what to do. So I'm just gonna go drive this thing, go put some miles on it, bring it back, let it set. We'll I guess check it again, let it flow, let things get flowing in there. I don't know, but so I started driving it again. The check engine light came back on. Brought it back home, cleared it, and said, let's go fresh out there, because it was telling me under boost. I'm like, what the fuck? What does this mean? Come back here, clear the code, and then take it for another drive. Engine light didn't come on, but when I was taking off, I'm hearing shh instead of the turbos that I'm used to. I'm like, it sounds like it's bleeding air. So I bring it back home, get under there. The two pipes on the left side that somebody said were on weren't. The big one being the main tube going to the throttle body with the cool air. That's where the shh was coming from. And then some little tube on there. It must be like a bleed off or some kind of thing. I don't know. But we're gonna go try this again. I put them on. They're tight. They're not coming off. So let's try it again. And it wasn't leaking at the trans line. So all right, let's see if this makes turbo noises and not just bleeding air noises. Hopefully that's the problem. All right, guys. We heard turbo noises. Let's see if you guys can hear them if I take off. Probably not. You can hear it out the window, but it might not work. Beautiful turbo noises. There we go. Yes. Now it's getting its full boost. I do have a little thing here on my radio. I do have an OBD2 plug for this. And it has gauges on here, and you can choose which ones you want. Of course, one of them that I did was boost, so we'll see what that gets up to. Before I parked this, even with the bad timing chain, it went up to 18 pounds like they usually do. So, but we'll take off here at a dead stop with these guys, and oh yeah, we're getting boo. Oh yeah, this truck is different, way different. It's different from. I was driving this thing that whole time with freaking the turbo tubes off. Wasn't my fault, damn it. I trusted my dad when he said it was on. So I'm just coming back. You can hear the turbo whistles in the background, maybe. But yeah, looks like everything's good to go on here so far. So that's gonna do it, guys. So for anybody that wants to do this repair on their F-150, if they're out there watching this, $35, man. I paid $10 for that 8 AN line, 10 foot of it, 3 different fittings, 2 of each, and then 2 clamps, you know, that holds them together, holds the tubes together, not clamped down on anything. And that included the barb, AN, and then those 2 things that we weren't able to use. That was like another, I think, $13. So if you take $13 off it, it's less than $30 that I fixed this with. Or you can go and buy the $200 worth of shit that I bought that's getting sent back. So there you go, man. Easy fix, not too bad, and everything's good. Highway trip did good, man. I went up to about 13 pounds of boost. I didn't want to push it any more than that since everything is new in there right now. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Later.